Well, it's a beautiful morning down by the river. We're here, rooting around in the rocks. It's lovely. You'll have to take my word for that, of course, because you're not here. But I'm bearing witness to it. I'm bearing witness to how beautiful it is. And maybe later on in the day, you'll be able to go out, and you might be able to come down to this part and witness the beautiful river. Well, today's a very strange day, in that not that the sun isn't shining and that sort of thing, but for the first time in 671 years, the Church of the Sepulchre has had its doors closed on Easter Sunday. 671 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. It's been closed. It was closed last time because of the Black Death, and it's been closed this time, of course, because of coronavirus. But let me let you into a little secret. That might not be the place where Jesus was buried. But that's by and by. If you go there, it's empty. Even if it's not the place where Jesus was buried, and Jesus was buried in another place, if you go there, it's empty. We know that because of the witness borne by the first people who went and saw the tomb. We have the account in John's Gospel, John's account of Jesus' life. And we read in verse 1 of chapter 20, on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw the stone had been removed from the entrance. She came running to Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They've taken the Lord out of the tomb. We don't know where they've put him." So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but he did not go in. Simon Peter arrives soon after, and he rushes in, and they see the strips of linen. Well, there's lots of empty tombs, and so, okay, it was bad news, but it wasn't surprising news or news that would really make a big difference to us today. That news follows. The disciples go back to their homes, but Mary stands outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing there, but did not realize it was Jesus. "Woman," he said, "why are you crying? Who is it you're looking for?" And thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you've put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means master. See, Easter morning is not about an empty tomb. It's about a risen Saviour. And these disciples would go on to bear witness to the risen Jesus Christ, and they would speak and tell stories and accounts of the things that happened in the many days that followed, and of how he ascended into heaven. But they would go on to tell accounts of how he continued to be their king. Though he wasn't there physically, he was definitely there. And as they prayed to him, and as they trusted him, and as they lived out their lives according to what he had said and what he had done, they found that he was real. Well, the doors may be closed in Jerusalem, but the Saviour is still on the throne. And the question is, do we believe? Do we trust? On this morning, in a very needy world, a world that is broken by people's bad behaviour, sin, by the effect of a virus, a world that is hurting, there is a hope. And that hope was found when the disciples went to look for Jesus' body and found a risen Saviour. Well, from me and my little friend down by the side of the Towie, may God bless you and keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace.